Carlos, can you put in words what this journey's been like? 2015, the whole playoff thing started, and to where you are now, and just how this team has continued, even though the faces have changed along the way, continues to pursue the highest level of baseball.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable journey, honestly. Coming into the team, like you said, 2015. Before then, we were a losing organization. Now people expect us to be in the playoffs every single year, come 2021. So it's been a great journey. We've grown together as a team in that clubhouse. We've gotten better together, and that's the reason why we've accomplished so much in this sport and why we're in the playoffs this year again. When we were losing 111 games one year, now that's not the case anymore, and that tells you about the hard work in the front office. That tells you about the hard work in the clubhouse. I'm talking about players and coaches. So really proud of what this organization has been able to accomplish.
Second row in the middle.
Carlos, you've been around so long now, and I'm curious. I look at you and some other guys, like even Kyle, like how young y'all looked when y'all first came up, and kind of obviously like men now. How would you say you've grown the most, or what would you say is most different about you now from when you first started?
Obviously, with the experience you acquire, you get more vocal, and you try to help your teammates out a little more. And not only in the regular season, but also in the playoffs. That experience that some of the young guys are going to go through right now, they know they can always come to me, and we can talk about it. The little butterflies you feel in your first playoff games, and how to handle the pressure and the loud noises from the fans, so you can go out there and still perform. So, I'm always going to be there for them. And, now being one of the leaders of the team, we talk, and I make sure they're ready for these big moments.
We'll go to Christy and then Chandler.
Carlos, I wondered, what do you like best about this team this year?
I like this team. One, we're a family in there. Everybody gets along. Everybody's together. Everybody's on the same page. We all want to win. We all work like we want to win. And then just the talent. When you look at the talent on paper, it's unbelievable. From the starting rotation to the bullpen now, and the lineup was the best in the league. So I love everything on this team. There's nothing I dislike. I think we're built for a championship, and we just got to take care of business in order for us to accomplish that.
I know you're pretty acutely aware of players at your position around the league. What do you think of Tim Anderson? What do you think of him as a player?
I think he's a great player. He's a great hitter. Bat to ball skills are unbelievable. Always putting the ball in play. Elite athlete. So yeah, I see him as a great player. Especially he plays shortstop. So I see him as a great one.
Jesus.
Carlos, you've played for Dusty now for almost 2 full years. What do you take the most out of, in 20 years from now, what are you going to tell people about Dusty Baker?
Just the relationship that I've been able to build with that man has been special. From the moment he got here, he didn't have it easy. He had to deal with a lot, especially that's been training in 2020. And he loved us from the moment he met us, and he had our backs from the moment he met us. So for me, that truly means a lot. Coming from a different team, he had no part of what happened in the past, and he still was there for us every single second of the way. And also the stories that he got. He's got so many great stories that I'm gonna tell my kid, and he's a great manager, but an even better human being. So I'm grateful that I got to meet him and work with him.
Go to Jake.
You talked about being one of the veteran leaders for the younger guys. At what point do you think you went from being one of the younger guys to one of the leaders of the team?
I know I just turned 27, and that might be young for a lot of people, but just being in this club from day one when we're not a winning club, and just growing up with the guys like Altuve and Lance and all the guys that came to this organization. And then, they just give you that role at some point. And, it's not like I asked for it, but the players come to me, so, I always want to have an answer for them. So that's why I prepare myself. That's why I learn about stats, advanced stats, and I learn about the game I try to manage the game in my head also every single time we're out there. So whenever they come to me, I have the right answers for them every time.
To the third row, right in the middle.
What is it about Maldonado that has just made him so indispensable these last couple of years?
That makes him so what?
Indispensable.
Yeah, Maldi is very special, and he does things that don't show up on the box score. For example, last year, I always tell our traveling secretary to room me next to him when we're on the road, because I like to sit down with him and talk shop and talk baseball. He's a very smart baseball guy. And we were going to face Oakland, so I go to his room and I said, "What are you doing?" He's on the computer, and he said, "I'm doing a scouting report on this team." I said, "What you got?" They beat us all year in the regular season. This was 2020. He said, after 3 days of doing scouting report, from the moment we won in Minnesota and we waited and traveled to LA to face them, he spent 3 days, at least 4 hours a day, on that computer doing scouting report. And at the end of the scouting report, he said, "They're not going to beat me this time. I got the scouting report down. We're going to beat them." I said, "You sure? The ball flies in this ballpark." He said, "Yeah, I got the scouting report down." And then we went out there. We won the series in 4 games. And, those are things that you don't see in the box score. Those are things that you guys don't know. But the guy, when we're on the plane all sleeping, traveling to a city, he's always doing scouting reports on the plane. And even though the team gives him a scouting report, he's always doing his own to make sure everything is right. And I think that's what makes him so valuable to our team. Calling pitches is very important, and he's the best at that.
We have 2 right here in the front.
Carlos, you have maybe led the way in the reactions that have evolved and changed during playoff baseball. Big hit involved the crowd. That's kind of swept through the game, and people love it. Why is that important to you, just to engage the fans? And then how important is it to kind of maximize that home field advantage in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's really important, especially because for me, I feed off their energy. And, when the fans are being loud and you're in the middle of an at-bat and you're focusing on that at-bat, you feel that energy. And I completely feed off of it. And, I focus even more. So when we're home, we obviously want to win. We don't want our fans to be quiet. We want them to be loud and cheering for us all the time. So in order for us to do that, we gotta play good, clean baseball, and that's what we plan to do this series.
Carlos, you talked about Dusty, the person, really, the man. Can you talk about him as a manager?
Yeah, I mean, the guy has been around the game for 50 years or so. He knows it all. I mean, he's seen it all. He's been through it all, and he's always ahead of the game. So. If you see whenever I'm not playing, I'm sitting next to him and trying to pick his brain and why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Because I want to learn the game as much as possible, and what better guy to learn from than Dusty Baker that's been around for so long. So yeah, he's that guy.
Carlos on your right, second row.
Hey, Carlos, when you look at the White Sox, do you see any similarities between them and your team, not only of this year, but in your teams of a couple of years past?
Yeah, I do. Their starting rotation is pretty solid. Their bullpen is also solid. So, a lot of people say pitching wins ball games. I think defense wins ball games, and we've been playing great defense all year long. You have great pitching, the ball gets put in play, and you don't finish the play. They don't have to record 27 outs. They got to record maybe 30. So I think defense, pitching, and then the offense comes if you want to win championships. So it's all about. This series about the team that plays the cleanest, the teams that plays for 27 outs and don't give those extra outs is going to win this series.
Mark up in the front.
Carlos, how have you managed to compartmentalize and push what may happen going forward to the side and have the kind of season you've had this year?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, how have you managed to push what may happen going forward, compartmentalize and push it to the side, and have the kind of season you had at the plate and with the glove?
Yeah, it's for me, it's about taking it day by day. I prepare in the off season, preparing spring training to have this type of regular season. That's what I bet on myself, and I knew I was ready. I knew I was healthy. So just taking it day by day, not focusing on that stuff, just focusing on helping my team win. And when you're unselfish like that, things are going to work out fine.
Second row in the middle.
This is kind of a similar question to Mark's, but just from what I can tell right now, you have 3 really major things going on in your life between the series that's coming up, you got a child on the way, obviously pending free agency after however this ends. How are you processing it, all of it? How do you, like Mark said, compartmentalize, and I guess not to get in your head, but like in your little downtime, like where does your mind go in a time like this?
Yeah, I see it all as positive. I see it all as a great thing. You know, I'm at a point right now in my life where I'm happy, and that's how I live my life, based on doing things that make me happy. And playing baseball makes me happy. Spending time with my family makes me happy, and I'm gonna be a father, so nothing will make me happier than that. Now it's playoff baseball. This is where I want to be every single year when come October, and you know, I'm happy that I'm part of this great organization of the Houston Astros, and I'm focused on winning another championship. So I'm doing things that make me happy right now. It cannot get any better.